contract left to run, but he's signed on now to stay till the end of 2026. And Mark W said, unsurprisingly, I'm thrilled by this. He's working miracles, and it feels like the best is yet to come. I'm ready to trust that process for 4 more years.
Yeah, well, it's a good. I like Watson, and I think he is making good progress. Last season, as we know, they were our bloody nightmare. Every time we predicted them win, they'd lose, and vice versa. But they've been much, much more consistent with how they've played this year.
Yeah, and I think if he wants a big job, either the NRL or England maybe, or something like that, he needs to win a trophy. So he's giving himself a bit of security and time there with what he's agreed.
Bit of time. But good for Huddersfield, and good for Super League to have a coach like Watson still coaching in there. I think he's a good lad.
Yep. Okay. The next game, probably one of the games where we won't have as much to say about, because it was a bit of a hammering, and everyone all weekend, David, was saying this game was going to be one-sided.
Absolutely. The only game we could predict, Mark.
Well, we all knew it was going to be a one-sided blowout. I don't think I spoke to anyone at all, like I said before, in the hotel at breakfast, on the bus, in the pub, who didn't think this would be a one-sided blowout. And they got what everyone expected, because it was a one-sided blowout. It was Catalans 10, Warrington 36. And what?
Bizarre game.
24-6 to Wire at half-time. It was done and dusted by half-time.
You know what it is? It's just because we wore them out last week, Mark.
Jack Smith was the referee, incomplete team stats because Matty Nicholson was missing from Wire's numbers, but from what I did see, it's safe to say that they had massive stats wins across the board. His numbers just would have made it better. And actually, one for Neil Ormston. How many players have scored a debut try for 2 different Super League clubs in one season, like Matty Nicholson's done? Because he got 2 on debut for Wigan. He nearly had 2 in this game, but the video referee rightly ruled off the second one. But and his try was a good try.
Yeah.
Like, good team play. Warrington were playing with confidence, and the structured play broke down, but they turned into kind of a off-the-cuff play off the back of it and changed the lines and stuff and popped up in different places and scored a great try. I mean, sorry. But but he's not on the stat sheet.
Don't be. They were totally dominant, and you can see it in the stats here. So for the winners, Josh Thewlis, 1 try, 208 metres in very high temperatures. Jake Wardle.
Or it was Conor Wrench if you were watching the commentary on Sky. You got the player wrong 3 times in a 100-metre run.
Jake Wardle, 1 try, 5 tackle busts, 173 metres and 2 clean breaks. Matty Ashton, 1 try assist, 156 metres and 2 clean breaks. George Williams, who I thought had a very good game, 1 try, 3 try assists and 144 metres.
He was outstanding.
He was really.
He didn't get player of the match, did he?
He didn't, did he? Who got it?
I can't remember. Well, they were basing it on those catapult stats, weren't they? So maybe someone had like a really good big number for something, and that's why they got it. I didn't watch this one back in full, so I don't know. But he, in the first half in particular, he was like head and shoulders the best player on that pitch. Not just in that game, but in the whole day. Yeah,
he really pulled the strings. I thought he had a very, very good game.
Yeah.
For the losers, Paul Segre, 125 metres. Samisoni Langi, 1 try, 6 tackle busts, 118 metres. Mikael Gudemon, 110 metres, and Joe Chan, 106 metres.
David Hunter said, F yeah, and the best part is Mark and Sarah called it. We did not. Did we? Did we kind of at the end of our prediction say,
no,
now it's gone, we might?
Dr. Hideous, Catalans were completely smothered in the first half. They came out a bit more lively for the second, but Warrington's last 10-metre defence was rock solid. The scoreline's a little unfair on Catalans, who've got some good attacks in, which just couldn't make the last few metres, and Warrington benefited from some lucky breaks. I thought they were totally dominant, to be honest.
I didn't see any unfairness on Catalans. I mean, The unfairness was that some of the tries came off Catalans' own errors. 2 or 3 of them didn't they? But, you know, I don't think that was anything to take away from Catalans. EFC78JU said, never thought that it would be easy going into the game, as the thoughts were Wire are going to get beat again, but they actually U-turned that into a win. Devastated that Widdop is out for the rest of the season, in which hopefully is our 100% survival year. I think I think that's safe now, mate. Nicholson and Wardle got their tries that no one's seen coming. Catalan were lucky to keep themselves in it, but their baguettes got shit on by the Wolves in the wild toon.
Ooh, that sounds like an interesting snack. Mike Webb 58 said, seemed like Cats had used up all their energy. See, Mike, a great man, we great men think alike, used up all their energy and disciplinary luck last week. Difficult to judge wire on this, but one thing they have is pace and another fucking drum.
Yeah. Rich Owen said, a quality 80-minute performance from the Wire yesterday. I know it was, on Sunday, I know it was an understrength Catalan side, but the effort seemed a lot better, and it was a game we would have lost in recent weeks. I think Harrison's work rate and McKaylee's power has brought a little something different to the pack, and Bullock has responded well in the last 2 weeks since being dropped against Wakey. More of the same, please. Come on the Wire. Scoots said... What did Scoots say? Scoots said, well, it was such an obvious result, I can't predict against them. Oh, how wrong we were. Catalans forgot to leave the aeroplane, I think, unless they forgot to even get on the aeroplane in the first place. Another annoying drum in our stand, thankfully not as close to us as the Wigan one, which Joshua was tempted to damage. Oh, come on, Joshua. Come on, Scoots. Callum's our friend.
So, some news stories, Mark?
Well...
Or do you want to have more of a chat about what was a very one-sided game?
The only... I think some of the news stories play into the chat, doesn't it? So, first of all, Warrington started and ended the game with fantastic tries. The Widdop try, the pass from Williams...
The one that caused the problem, yeah.
It seems like he's struck up a bit of a relationship already with Wardle, and Wardle's enjoying having the pace of Ashton outside him. It's not too different from in his senior at Huddersfield either, is it? So it's probably been an easy adjustment for him to make. And then Williams try at the end of the game. All those offloads and players supporting each other. It involved McKaylee, who I don't think was like all round impressive, but he had 2 or 3 really imposing moments in the game.
Yeah.
Then Ratchford supported there to get the offload, and then put the ball through to Jason Clark, who got a nice offload away. That Williams just really hit hard and fast and went through under 6 and scored. Those 2 tries at either end of the game were fantastic. Yes, there was some lucky tries in the middle, but they scored some great tries too, I thought, Warrington. And I thought it's worth pulling that out because I think it's the first time we've seen a confident attacking Wire side under Daryl Powell.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also thought the first time I've seen them this year where I thought they looked balanced and the pack looked like it was able to compete.
And it was an underpowered Catalans pack, and it was a super hot day. So
for sure. Whoever
got the momentum early, which Warrington did with that try from deep, probably had a bearing on things. I think that's fair to sort of caveat. Yeah. Like, Catalans haven't completely disappeared off the face of the earth from one beating by...
No.
Like Huddersfield haven't from one beating by Cass. That was comprehensively beaten in. So, yeah. But I wanted to pull out that because I think it's fair. We've knocked them enough.
Fantastic performance. Really, really good performance. When your tail's up like that, cash in on it. They absolutely cashed in on it. And, they'll take that confidence into the next game. It would not surprise me at all now if Warrington go on, to win the next 2 or 3 games.
Yeah, potentially. I haven't looked at what their fixtures are, but...
Neither have I.
They've
and
got
if it's against us, then they're going to lose, obviously, but there you go.
The one blot on George Williams' copybook for this one was a grade A late hit on passer charge, but because he's not been in trouble with the disciplinary, he didn't get any ban from that. Catalans went into this game down on forwards. It didn't help them that Captain Ben Garcia, sort of midway through the game, went off, and then the news about what his injury was... Because I hadn't really picked... He looked really hurt and really distressed, didn't he, when he went off? But I couldn't figure out why. But then the news that came out that he nearly lost an ear. He nearly had his ear ripped off. So he was rushed to hospital. He couldn't get it stitched back on, or stitched back together, the part that tore off. But the plastic surgeons repaired the ear so that he has some sort of ear still. And he was able to get on the flight. I think they delayed the flight slightly to be able to get him back with the team on Sunday night. So, yeah.
Apologies to any listeners who are listening to this over their breakfast and are maybe having bacon.
Yeah. But on the flip side, Mike Tyson's fucking licking his lips.
The good news is they have managed to reattach it properly, haven't they? And it looks like with the plastic surgeon, so it looks like he's going to be okay. So,
yeah. But they lost him in the first half, so that added to their undersized, underpowered pack, and a bit horrific as well what happened there when they would have all been learning about that. But Paul Seguia, though, he stepped up for Catalans in this game. He celebrated signing a 2-year contract extension at the club with I thought his best performance of the year, maybe his best performance for Catalans. It just came against in a team performance that wasn't great, but he kept going. And his meter numbers back that up. So that's pleasing. A young French forward playing well. Gareth Widdop.
You could see immediately he was in problem. I thought it was his collarbone that must have gone because he was holding his arm badly.
Yeah, I thought so too. Especially with the way he took the inside pass from Ashton, didn't he? And he kind of stumbled. Yeah. And but still managed to sort of break the tackle, so he wasn't tackled, and got and the presence of mind to get the ball down whilst he's holding his other arm, because he's dislocated his shoulder in that fall. It's probably Wire have said probably his last game for the club because he's leaving at the end of the year. But yeah, significant injury very early in the game. Luckily, Wire were carrying Riley Dean on the bench, weren't they? So it actually didn't interrupt things too much, and also George Williams was just brilliant in the game. So they didn't miss losing one of the key pivots, but out for the season. It's a sad way for his Wire career to end.
Yeah, it is, no doubt though. I think we'll see him again in Super League if the rumours are to be believed.
Well, Cass is being mentioned, isn't it? Rob was asking about that. I haven't really seen anything concrete. I'd also seen suggestions that he might want to be back, go and play for Halifax and finish his career with them. So that's a strange one, but a possible one. It's another NRL halfback, isn't it? Who's come from the NRL with fanfare to Warrington and left with a bit of a whimper. And it's not that he's not had some good performances along the way. He was actually, for the first half of last year, he was, I think, as good as any other halfback in the competition for a sort of 6 or 8 week period last year. And, Austin had a great first season, didn't he, up until when he got injured. And Sandow had periods, didn't he, where he was a real threat right at his early days. But you just look at them all overall, and all of them ended without, becoming Warrington heroes, Warrington legends. So that's probably why they're looking to sign as many players from Wigan instead.
Yeah, well, the search for a combination of players that's going to get them to, a first grand final success continues.
Do you want to tell us about Bernard the Butcher?
Oh, Catalan have confirmed that owner Bernard Gauch has been banned from attending any matches involving the club for 4 weeks. I'm not quite sure when that started and finished.
It finishes after next weekend's game against, I think they've got Warrington actually next week, so... No, they can't have Warrington. They have them this week. It finished after the Warrington game. He's back in the stadium next week.
He's back. So they've announced it when it's finished. He breached the RFL's operational rules following their game against Huddersfield on the 3rd of June. The incident involved Gauch using offensive language and questioning the integrity of a match official, not for the first time, and making physical contact, hopefully not with a large chopper. It follows a fine of £10,000, of which 2.5 was suspended for his comments about match officials after the Dragons' grand final defeat to Saints. This time, Gauch was also fined £10,000, of which 5 has been suspended till the end of the 2023 season and will be activated if found guilty of any further offence. The previously suspended £2,500 from the grand final incident is now also payable.
So he's paid £7,500, and he might pay another £5,000 when he does something outlandish about